Okay, so we've read the story, and now we're just going to do a compare and a contrast. This Venn diagram is not in your notes, but I drew it on here like you would maybe draw it on the side of your paper. Okay, so we had Cornelia and Julia. Julia at first was showing off her jewels, right? That's an action. So she was showing off her jewels, right? And I know that Cornelia didn't have jewels, right? Her jewels were her boys. Okay, so she's showing off her jewels. Cornelia doesn't have any, no real jewels. Okay, that's one way that they're different. Okay, how would I describe that? Right, Cornelia thinks, oh man, my most valuable thing is my boys. Julia says, oh wow, jewels are so awesome, right? There's a word called materialistic, right? So materialistic is when you care about material things or physical things like clothes or Gucci shoes or whatever. And those things aren't bad. It's just that if that's all you care about, that's materialistic. So at first, Julia's like that, materialistic. All right. Cornelia likes jewels. She thinks they're pretty, but she cares more about her family. So she is or not materialistic. Okay, what's something that they had in common? Take a minute to think about that. And if I need to, I could go back to my story. Well, it doesn't show up here, but we underlined that Cornelia felt happy about seeing the jewels, and Julia said that she did too. I believe, let's see, because she said, oh, me too, right? I greatly delight in seeing beautiful jewels. Julia says, me too, right? So they both like seeing pretty jewelry. Okay, so I've got a couple of notes here, and now I can move on to my question that is in your notes. Use what you learned from reading the drama to answer the following questions. Which comparisons of Julia and Cornelia are true? Select two options. Okay, this is going to be very important here, guys. I'm going to annotate true or false, right? This is a type of question that trips us up a lot as fifth graders because we maybe read only the first part and not the last, so we want to be careful. Only two of them are true. Julia thinks jewels are fun to admire. Cornelia does not. I know that's false because I just wrote down on my Venn diagram that they both like it, right? Delighted, me too. So that's false. It's gone. Julia is from a noble family. Cornelia is not. Okay, if I go back and look, I talked about her family. Julia says, your famous father, right? He's talking about Cornelia's father. And famous, noble, right? That means like you've got a lot of money, you're important. So Cornelia is not from a noble family. That is false. Julia does not talk about her children. Cornelia does. Well, I know it talked about Cornelia's children. And I don't remember it saying anything about Julia's children. She doesn't say, hey, I should think about my kids that way. She doesn't even mention her kids. So this looks like it's true. Julia doesn't talk about her children. Cornelia does. So there's my first true one. Julia believes history is important. Cornelia does not. Well, the boys were talking about history, what they learned at school, and Cornelia didn't say it was not important. So I'm going to put a question mark because I would really want to look back at the text, but I think that one's probably false. Julia has many fine gems and jewelry. Cornelia does not. Aha. Julia had that big chest of treasures that she was bringing in, and Cornelia had her boys. So there I've got one that's definitely true, and it said I only have two options. I'm going to read F just to be sure, but it looks like I've got it. Julia is impressed by Cornelia's sons. Cornelia is not. Wah, wah. Not true. Okay, because we knew that she thought they were more precious than gems. Okay, so here's a model of what you could be doing using true and false, going back to the text, underlining evidence. Y'all are rock stars for doing this at home. Do it with your siblings, play school with them, get your parents to check their work with the answer key online, and hopefully next week you'll be getting everything you need on paper so that you can do this along with me. I look forward to seeing you then. Also, go ahead and check out my Story Corner channel on my YouTube page, and you can listen to some stories